The investigation found that she actually had an argument with mother and brother the night before, and that was the last that the family had seen her.
Ronya Lavoni vanished 28 years ago. Now, new evidence could give her mother the answers she's longed for.
If you are watching me, please tell me that you are alive.
15-year-old repeat runaway Derek Chung is in real danger.
Some of the boys who he borrowed money off were threatening to harm him if he didn't return the money.
Police need to find him before his credit runs out. And in Wollongong, police mount a full-scale search for 82-year-old digger Les Hicks.
One of the boys in our squad saw some footprints. They were only going one way in.
This time, police go underground to try and find their man. But first, in the office of the New South Wales Missing Persons Unit...
Hello? Yeah, can I speak to Karen, please?
Speaking.
Karen, it's Senior Constable Gale from the Missing Persons Unit. How are you?
Not too bad.
Mandy Gale is talking to the daughter of 82-year-old Leslie Hicks. Les is a World War II veteran who 8 days ago walked out of his nursing home.
He was last seen at the retirement village at 9:30, 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
He'd had a cup of coffee in the dining room. Then told the staff he was coming over here to my place, but he didn't come.
Les is as tough as nails. He survived the war in the Pacific and 3 different types of cancer. But recently, he developed dementia and moved into a nursing home just a 10-minute walk from his daughter's house.
Has he wandered off before, Karen? Never.
He would only come here, and then, if I wasn't home, he would walk back because he never ever would tell me when he was coming. But, I mean, other than that, he only visited a friend of his in the next street from him, and she hadn't seen him since the Thursday, I don't think.
Because of his dementia, Karen looks after Les's finances. She divides it into daily envelopes to take to his local club where he plays Keno.
We think that he's won money on the Keno on the Thursday night because he didn't pick up his envelope with his money in it on the Friday, Saturday or Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we think his numbers might have come out in the Keno.
Yeah.
That's why we sort of still believe that he's out there and he's okay.
He's okay somewhere. You sound a bit shaky. I'm going to give you a contact number that we use in here for family and friends of missing persons. It's a support service number. And they're great. It's just someone you can pick up the phone, have a chat to if you feel like you need to talk to someone. So I'll bring that with me, and just a few other things I can talk to you about when we come down and see how we go.
Okay.
Okay, Karen. All right, we take care and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. Oh, my God. He sounds like such a battler. Health-wise, he's been through the mill, and his daughter seems to think he may have won some money on Keno, and he's out enjoying that. But I'm really concerned, like it's been a week, so we'll get down and talk to Karen and see if we can come up where he might be.
Across the office, Gary and Doug are meeting with Virginia Chung.
Gary Bailey.
Very nice to meet you.
And this is Doug. He's
Her teenage son, Derek, ran away 3 long months ago.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a worry this time, isn't it?
It's just been too long, and the circumstances are different. He's done it before. He's run away before, but it's never more than 2 weeks. And each time I've been able to trace him, like, friends have been very helpful.
Yep.
And his usual group of friends that always try to, tell him to go home.
Yeah.
So, but this time none of them have had any contact with him whatsoever.
What I would like, if you can just give me a list of all the known friends and that and their phones.
Okay.
And I think coming from the police, it does sort of frighten them a little bit more, and they're likely more to tell us the truth than possibly you, All right.
What I'm really concerned is that he's hanging around with a totally different group of people who obviously they're financially independent somehow, who are older and possibly who are into the drugs and those kind of things.
Derek is only 15. If he's hanging out with a bad crowd, he could be in real trouble.
The last couple of times he's run away, he's had to borrow money to survive. And some of the boys who he borrowed money off were threatening to harm him if he didn't return the money.
Out on the road, Mandy is heading to the New South Wales south coast to interview the family of 82-year-old digger Les Hicks.
With elderly people compared to teenagers tend to keep closed doors, I guess, where their friends are involved. They don't like to admit that, yes, they know where they are or who they're with. With the elderly people, if they come from a small town, it's quite good. Everybody knows everybody, but without knowing he's definitely in the area, it can be very hard. Like, he could be anywhere. We don't have a definite lead of where he's headed, so at the moment we're flying blind.
Les is well known in his community for all his charity work and his birthplace.
He was the first baby born in Wollongong Hospital.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. He'd give anyone the shirt off his back, you know. He's very, very generous. And he would do Meals on Wheels deliveries.
Always doing something.
Yeah, and he'd drive a bus and pick up all the blind people and take them to his farm for a craft day. This is all voluntary. So, yeah, good heart.
I think he sounds really well liked. I think he'd have a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I think he'd have a lot of friends. So it's making me sort of think that if he was around, wandering around, people would know him.
Yeah, we don't think he's here.
No, that's what I'm thinking. It's quite possible he's got on a bus or got on a train and gone somewhere else where he's not as well known.
Yeah, I think so.
8 days missing and not one word. Even if someone does find him, because of his dementia, he may not remember who he is.
I kind of just keep thinking positive, that he is a tough old bugger and determined. So if he's trying to get somewhere, he'll do it. And I only sort of lose grip a bit when it's bad weather, that I'm worried that he's, you know, not sheltered, you know.
Back in the office...
Hello?
Here, is that Elaine, is it?
Speaking?
Senior Constable Gary Bailey is on the phone to the sister of runaway 15-year-old Derek Chung.
Have you heard anything from Derek at all?
No, but I have heard he's been around.
Have you? Who sort of told you that?
His friend, his mutual friend that works at this bread shop in Hurstville, and he's actually seen him.
Bread shop, is it?
Yeah.
Have you got an address for that bread shop?
It's on Forest Road. It's a Vietnamese one.
Weeks ago.
It's obvious Derek's well known by all the local businesses. And his mates.
Hey boys, how you going? Good. You look like you know him.
Yeah, we do know him, but we don't know where he is.
How long have you seen him?
Ages. More than half a year. Calling us as well, telling us to look for him.
Do you know his mum?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very worried, you know. But if you happen to find out something, just call into the police station and tell them, you know, because we just have to find him. Okay.
Right.
Thanks, boys.
Derek has run away in the past and has always returned. So, as far as his friends are concerned, Derek is up to his same old tricks. But his mum, Virginia, knows that after 3 months with no word, that Derek's disappearance this time could be more serious.
Derek, I want you to know that we're all worried about you. The whole family is worried about you. You know we love you. And no matter what you've done or for whatever purpose, please contact me. I'd like to know that you're safe and that you're well and that you're healthy and that you're happy, most important of all.
Back in the search for war veteran Les Hicks, his daughter Karen and son Steve are showing local cops through their dad's flat.
And clothing, is there anything you know that's missing?
No. See, all his jackets are here, and I mean, it's not like him to go off without a jacket. Yeah. You know, if he didn't have this one on, he had that one on.
I'm surprised he hasn't taken this leather jacket with him because rain, hail or shine, he wore it everywhere.
Even
across the road to the club, you know, so that's a worry, if you might say so.
Outside, the police rescue squad are scouring the grounds for any sign of him.
You look for tracks on the ground, usual footprints and that, grass been squashed down. When you're walking through bush areas, sometimes there's spider webs. So if you get the spider web in your face, you pretty much know that they haven't been through there.
Nearby, Mandy is checking a walking track between the home and Les's daughter's house.
This was an area our missing person used to walk past quite frequently to get to family's house. Then there's nothing to say he hasn't come this way and fallen back in.
Back inside...
He hasn't taken his glasses.
No, they mentioned that. Is that a spare pair or...?
I don't think so. I had to check with Shirley.
And without his glasses, Les is as good as blind.
I'm feeling the worst, to be truthful, because he's a tough old fella, but because of his health, his medication, his eyesight especially, and then we don't know if he had any money or not.
So after 9 days with no warm clothing, no money and virtually blind, the odds are stacking up against Les. Back on the Chung runaway case, Gary and Doug are on the beat in the city's south.
Up this way up.
They're hoping kids at the local cyber cafe might be able to help.
Hey, boys! Can I just have your attention for a minute? I'm just looking for someone. I want to just have a look. Do you know him? This boy? No? Haven't seen him? What about you, mate? Do you know him?
Yeah, he used to go to my school.
Did he? Yeah. How long since you seen him?
A few weeks.
Few weeks? Whereabouts you reckon you seen him?
He was near this Meridian Club.
Oh, the Meridian Club, yeah?
Near there. Yeah. He was walking past.
A couple of weeks ago?
Yeah.
OK, good on you. It's the same old story. No one's seen him for a number of weeks, apparently. But he does come here quite often. So we spread the word around and see what happens.
On the case of 82-year-old digger Les Hicks, Wollongong police are continuing their canvass of the area where he disappeared.
Yeah, we're just making some inquiries about Leslie Hicks, the missing person from the nursing home up the road.
Oh, right.
You don't know anything about that, do you?
Oh, just what I've read, that's all.
Yeah, you haven't seen Leslie around?
No.
No. You haven't seen him in the area at all around here recently?
I haven't seen him.
You haven't?
Police also visit his old address, just a few blocks from the nursing home.
How you doing?
And although Les hasn't lived here for some time, it's common for dementia sufferers to return to their past.
Do you remember this fellow living there? It's a familiar face, but I cannot recall. Must be a long, long time ago.
Yeah, it was.
It's now been 10 days since Les vanished. Police and his family are beginning to think the worst.
Oh, please just let the police know where he is so that we can get him home.
You can just try and get into the police or let the police know.
Last week, we brought you the story of runaway Cora Hutton. Cora was sent to Sydney to live with her Australian nana, but soon after arriving, she ran away.
No, know where they are. Why don't I believe you? Boy, he's so secretive when we pull up and all that. What's going on?
And as usual, police got the teenage runaround.
If she goes and does something silly, how are you all going to feel? All I want to do is see her. She's not getting locked up. I'm not doing anything. I just want to know she's alive and well. That's all I want to do. Guys, don't run.
Police finally caught up with Cora, but she wasn't happy.
Cora, come here. No. Come here. Come here.
But Mandy managed to reason with her and discovered what the problem was.
And your mum said she would drop everything to come over here to be with you, if that's what you want. Is that what you want?
I want her to move over here.
Well, now, Cora might just get her wish.
It's very exciting for Cora today. We've been in contact with Carmen, who's her mum, and she lives in New Zealand, and she's actually flying out this morning, which is really exciting for all of us. So hopefully have a nice big reunion and sit down and talk things out and hopefully sort something out that everybody will walk away happy.
So while Mandy works on reuniting Cora and her mum, in Wollongong, there's a breakthrough when police get a confirmed sighting of 82-year-old Les Hicks. A huge search by police and volunteers is about to get underway.
He confirmed it was him, and he did make the point of saying that he had those track pants on and those clothes, and he was covered in grass. At that time, our witness was unaware of the status, I suppose we call it, Mr. Hicks, and he just presumed that he lived around this area.
Airwing base, stand by for Follow 1. Follow 1, standing by.
Les was last seen near a series of deep coal mines, steep, rugged, and easy to get lost in.
There's a lot of tracks up there. There are four-wheel drive tracks, fire trails. What we're going to do is four-wheel drive searching and a bit of foot, just depending on the conditions you encounter up there. There's also ruins and a washery that they call up there. We'll get the dog squad to just do a extensive search in that area, just in case.
At 82 years old, with little to survive on, things are becoming far more grave for Les Hicks. Meanwhile, back in Sydney, Mandy and Joe are picking up teenage runaway Cora Hutton. They're taking her to the airport to meet her mum, who's about to fly in from New Zealand.
Look at you two. How are you? I'm good. Excited? Look at you, all spruced up.
I'm going to see my mum.
So how you feel? Like, are you worried, like what she's going to say, or you just because you haven't seen her for a long time?
I'm glad. I'm going to see her.
Cora is about to see her mum for the first time in 3 months. And as she arrives at the airport, she's looking pretty nervous.
We know whether we can go A and B or C and D.
But as soon as she spots her mum, Carmen, it's obvious that's who she's needed all along. Initially, it's a wonderful reunion for mother and daughter. And the result Mandy and Joe have been hoping for. But unexpectedly, Cora's nana turns up, the person Cora ran away from. All of a sudden, Cora seems to have lost her mum all over again.
Here to see the family.
Cora is obviously not happy to see her nana taking the spotlight here at the reunion. Police will certainly have their work cut out to try and make things work between this trio. In the Northern Territory's Missing Persons Unit, police in Darwin have reopened the 28-year-old mystery disappearance of Ronya Lavoni.
Ronya was aged 15 at the time of her disappearance back in 1980. By all accounts, she was a very popular girl. She had a lot of friends with school. She was just your typical 15-year-old teenager. She liked to party. She liked to go out with her friends. The investigation that was conducted at the time found that she actually had an argument with mother and brother the night before, and then she went to her bedroom, and that was the last that the family had seen her. The investigation found that she actually had intended to run away with another school friend. They were to run away on the night that she actually disappeared.
But Ronya did not run away with her school friend Sarah that last night. And the next day, Sarah's brother, who is now dead, saw something crucial to the investigation.
The information was that on the night, or the morning after her disappearance, he was at a residence across the road and he located a school bag. He identified it as being Ronya's bag because she had a habit of writing down names of boys she had crushes on. So this school bag was always in her possession and she was known not to go anywhere without it. The information was it was actually a bus in the yard at the time, and this gentleman saw the bag, which was Ronya's school bag, in the actual bus.
Detective Kerry Harris now needs to speak to Ronya's mum to see if she can shed any further light, particularly on why the 15-year-old school bag was seen in an abandoned bus on a vacant block across from her own home. At Sydney Airport, Cora's nana realised she was not welcome and has gone home. It's now when cops like Mandy Gale go those extra steps to keep families together.
Before you sort of left today, what we wanted to do was just have a chat with what's been going on and trying to sort something out where everybody's happy and Cora's find somewhere for home up here or back with you or whatever.
Carmen always thought Cora was happy living with her nana, but she wasn't.
She's mean to me. She's probably mean because she cares for you. It's like a cruel to be kind type thing. And different generation, I guess. It's the age gap. No, she's just mean.
Carmen wants to believe her mother was trying to help, but she also knows sending Cora back there to live with her is no longer an option.
I think we need to work on Cora feeling safe to come and talk to me and not run when there's a problem. So at this stage, I'm looking at taking Cora home.
But I don't want to go back to New Zealand.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Cora's mum certainly has her work cut out for her. Over the next few days, she'll need to convince Cora to return to New Zealand with her, and Cora's very future depends on it. Back in Darwin, Detective Harris is on his way to interview the mother of long-term missing schoolgirl Ronya Lavoni.
Obviously, the family's still very much up in the air. The matter has been unresolved for nearly 28 years, so Mum's coping as well as can be, but obviously at this stage she is looking at some form of resolution and further answers in relation to what happened to Ronya. Knock, knock. You there, Elsa?
Elsa brought her family up in this house and remembers the day her 15-year-old daughter disappeared like it was yesterday.
When she disappeared, we have a disagreement, and I was very upset with her. And Ronya was in her bedroom.
Yep.
And she was very upset also. I mean, she maybe was very disappointed of me. And she would not come out. And then when I woke up in the morning, I went to her bedroom, and there she was gone.
Okay. At the time she disappeared, who was actually living in the house here?
It was me, my son, myself, and Ronya.
Anybody else?
No, because I went to the police and I got this man out of my house.
All right. Was that before Ronya disappeared, or?
I think so, yes. This was before.
That man was at the time in an on-off relationship with Elsa, and when Elsa ordered him to leave, he moved into the old bus across the road.
A couple of days after Ronya disappeared, a school bag that this person believes was owned by Ronya was located or seen across the road in what is believed to be a bus or a partially built house. Do you have any recollection of that?
No.
No?
This what Lee told you?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember any bus.
Yeah.
Elsa may not remember the bus, but admits during that time in her life she was full of doubts.
I had problems at this time in my life, big problems, and I would not listen to her. She was calling out to me, Mom, I have to talk with you, and I just couldn't do it. I was full of pain. I was very close, yeah. I was trying to please her in every way, and just after she disappeared, just gone forever.
Elsa still wrestles with her guilt today over Ronja's disappearance. She even keeps Ronja's bedroom set up as a shrine, hoping that one day her daughter might return. If Ronja is alive, she'd be 43 and maybe a mum herself.
I would like to say to Ronja, if you are watching me, please tell me that you are alive. And just come home. I'm still waiting for you after 28 years. I love you. I always did. Always loved you.
In Darwin...
Hi Sarah, how are you? My name's Kerry Harris, I'm with the Missing Persons Unit in Darwin.
Yep.
I've spoken to you on the phone.
Police are meeting with Sarah, the old school friend of Ronja Lavoni.
What can you tell me about why you and Ronja wanted to run away?
She hated her mum's boyfriend. Absolutely despised him.
And what sort of arrangements had you made?
I was going to meet her the next night on the Moyle Oval at about 7.
Yep.
And we were going to leave from there.
All right. Was anyone at that stage aware that you were going to run away? Was Elsa's mum's boyfriend, anyone?
Nobody.
Nobody? Okay.
No one.
And since that night, way back in 1980, nobody has any idea what happened. At least, not until Sarah's brother came forward to police.
Lee rang me one day last year, later in the year, and he said he remembered something about Ronja. And he said that he remembered a bus, a high house or something across the road, and there was a bus there. And he said something about her school bag, that he went there one day and it wasn't there, and the next day it was, or it might have been the other way around. And I said, why didn't you, all those years ago, say something to the police about this? And he said, because I was too young and I was never asked. But since this has come about, which wasn't probably just over a week ago, my brother passed away. So I'm still very raw about that. And I actually wasn't going to do this interview, and I thought if I did it, my brother would be very proud of me, because I would say it's from his information that they're going to find out what's happened to her.
Simulate HVP stuff if you can sort of...
Back in New South Wales, a search party of more than 100 police and volunteers is scouring a working coal mine. They're looking for 82-year-old digger Les Hicks, who's now been missing for 10 days. At the same time, mounted police search fire trails in the area.
Because we're up high, you'd see a spot of colour in the trail. Quicker and sooner he can direct people over to that area to search.
Further up the mountain, Oscar, New South Wales's only cadaver dog, does his bit.
In a search like this, you've got a large area that we're identified that possibly a victim is in. So using a dog that's got a far superior nose out here can limit the search time dramatically. In addition, we're able to locate clandestine graves, so something that visually we don't interpret as someone underneath the ground. The dog will be able to come along and go, yep, there it is there.
And police trail bikers head off into even thicker bushland, searching for any signs of Leslie. Mandy and Gary head up to an old mine shaft where volunteer rescuers may have a promising clue.
Came up here on the road and one of the boys in our squad saw some footprints. They were only going one way in, so if you guys want to come and have a look.
Back in the case of Ronya Lavoni, Darwin police have taken her school friend Sarah back in time 28 years. They brought her here to the land across the road from Ronya's house.
Okay, this is a park where Ronya and I were going to meet at 7 o'clock that next night.
Yep.
Before she went missing, and run away together. I never did come back to this park because she'd already gone the night before, and actually this is the first time I've ever been here from that night.
Mm-hmm.
I think that bus was jammed up in that corner.
So this corner here where the swimming pool is? Yep.
Yeah.
Do you remember if anyone was living in the bus or if it was just sitting there?
No, I don't recall. Like, I can't remember. All I know is that there was like a bus in here and we could see that from Ronya's house, this oval.
It might have been difficult for Sarah to return here, but for Detective Harris, it's confirmation that Ronya's suspicious disappearance started here.
Well, Sarah's recollection today coincides with the information I had from Lee's statement, and she's indicated that there was a bus here. And when we spoke to Elsa yesterday, she stated that she didn't recall any bus. And just having the mere fact that Sarah's able to point out where she believes the buses be corroborates the information I have received from Lee.
Back at the Wollongong coal mine, police and volunteers have followed one set of footprints into the mine shaft.
And what we were doing, we just stay on the left-hand side because it's a lot safer, it's a lot muddy.
While Mandy and her team go deeper into the mine shaft, outside, the police air wing has started searching.
Rescue 71, just for information, we're about 5 minutes out from Robertson Street, Corrimal. Do we have any further updates regarding this missing person?
Rescue 71 to Poly 1, if you just conduct a search to the west of Taylor Place, encompassing the escarpment area.
With the help of their special on-board camera, they can zoom in to specific areas.
Poly 1, copy that, kilometre north and south and out to the escarpment area.
If Les is down there, they have every chance of saving him. Back on the ground, searchers have emerged from the depths of the mine shaft with no sign of the elderly war veteran. So, after 6 gruelling hours of searching this rugged area, things are looking even more grim for 82-year-old Les Hicks. Back at the Darwin Missing Persons Unit, in the case of Ronya Lavoni, Detective Harris has actually tracked down the man Elsa threw out of the house. The man then seen living on the bus.
We've just had immigration checks come back on the person we'd like to speak to, and he has actually been overseas. Confirmed that he is back in Australia and is living back at the guest house. This person hasn't been spoken to previously, so now we've got the perfect opportunity to talk to him in relation to Ronya's disappearance. There are serious concerns as to what has happened to Ronya, and those concerns centre around our POI. He needs to be spoken to, but if he's spoken to, obviously I'll need to take someone with me because we'll need to get a statement from him.
Get his version of events down, lock him into a story, and see how we go from there. If at any stage during the statement that grounds do arise,
then we'll caution him
and maybe look at options including arrest. That'd be my recommendation to you.
This next meeting is critical. It could finally mean closure for Ronya's family and friends. Back in Wollongong, Police and volunteers have been going at it now for almost 8 hours in their search for 82-year-old Les Hicks.
We've had Polair out, we've got the police horses, we've got the dog squad, there's bikes, there's trail bikes, there's SES. I mean, we've got everybody, as many people as we can round up, and we've covered a fairly extensive area from the last place, the last confirmed sighting of our missing person. We've covered a huge area and it doesn't seem to be up here, so I guess at this point we'll go back down to the command post and get retasked, and you know, in the meantime we just wait for the phone to ring and another sighting.
But when they get back to the command post, bad weather has forced the search to be called off.
We covered roughly about 4 kilometre square grid. All in all, the aerial search, they covered an 8 kilometre square grid when they did the sweep. Again, unfortunately, nothing came up. So unless we get further information from the missing persons unit or the detectives, we'll come and see you again. Thank you so much.
After so much searching and hope, the disappointment for everyone is obvious.
Between Bars and I, like, we've had cases that have gone either way. You know, you have extensive searches for people that, you know, you believe may be in an area, and, you know, every day you get another phone call, gets your hopes up, and you just think today will be the day, you know, we're going to find them. But reality is that, you know, all cases don't end like that, and it breaks our hearts, and, you know, you wish there was more you could do if we had a crystal ball and just knew the exact place to look. But reality is it doesn't work like that, so.
North in Darwin, detectives are about to come face to face with the man they're sure has information about 15-year-old Ronya's disappearance back in 1980. But because it's a sensitive moment, police ask our cameras to stay back.
Anyway, my name's Kerry Harris. I'm from the Missing Persons Unit in Darwin. We'd like to talk to him in relation to Ronya's disappearance back in 1980.
This person of interest does remember Ronya. He also confirms he was involved in a relationship with her mother at the time, before being told to leave.
Obviously she's still missing, but we just need to find out exactly what's been going on. It's just a statement from you, that's all we're looking for. When would you be available?
The man agrees to later meet police at the station and make a full statement.
OK, we had a good result. He hasn't been spoken to before, and this is the first contact he's going to have with police in relation to Ronya's disappearance. And given that it's 28 years ago, memory and recall might be a bit of an issue, but I'm hoping he can really fill in the gaps as to what happened with Ronya and on the night she disappeared and the circumstances that led up to her disappearance.
So from this point, the case of Ronya Lavoni's suspicious disappearance will be handed over to Darwin's Criminal Investigation Unit. Meanwhile, back in Ronya's untouched bedroom, her mother Elsa prays for her daughter.
Ronya was, to me, a gift from God. She was like an angel. But I've been crying and crying all these years for Ronya because Ronya was so deep in my heart. I would like to pray to God for my daughter, Ronya. I ask you, Lord, once again that you may let me know something about her. It would be a great miracle if she would be still alive. I just ask you, Lord, that you bless Ronya and all the missing persons throughout the world. We trust everything into your hands, Lord.
It's been an emotional week for teenage runaway Cora Hutton. After refusing to go back to New Zealand with her mum, she has had a change of heart.
My mum bought me a ticket to New Zealand yesterday, so I'm going to go with her back to NZ. And then we're going to come back and she's going to live here. So we are going to live, I mean.
And when Carmen returns from a job interview for a teaching position in Sydney, it looks like Cora might get her wish to stay in Australia.
And they said everything looks great. I shouldn't have any problems getting a job, and my qualifications should be fine. Cora wants to come back, don't you, Cora? So she has to behave. Set some goals for her and strategies for not running away and staying home and communicating effectively. And letting her know there's lots of people that love her and she just really needs to be honest with people.
And it seems relations between Cora and her nana are even thawing.
Take care.
Bye, Nan.
See you again.
Yeah.
Get it right this time, mate.
If Cora learned anything, it was just how much her family means to her.
Yeah, I miss my family.
After the disappointing result in the Les Hicks search, Gary ends the day on a high with a great result in the Derek Chung runaway case.
We've got some news that he's finally returned home, so we're just going to go over and see how he is, where he's been and what his plans for the future are.
Derek, is it? Hang on, mate. Gary Barley, Missing Persons. Mate, how you going? Oh, sit down, a bit of a yard here? Yep. Oh, dear. So what have you been doing with yourself?
Oh, I just went to a mate's place. Just
Yeah. So what's the story now? Are you sort of back at home now, or...?
Yep, working now.
Back living with Mum and Dad?
Yep.
Mate, what's actually happened? Because when we were looking for you, you seemed to be a sort of king of the kids here. Everyone knew you, and you know, there's Derek, and they're all sort of laughing at when they seen your picture and that. And...
Yeah, word gets around.
Yeah. And what sort of happened since then? You sort of seen the light a little bit?
Yeah, no, the whole street thing's pointless.
Yeah.
Like I saw that years ago.
Yep.
Just never gotten around to do something about it.
And now you reckon you've done something?
Yeah.
Well, it looks like, you know. What's this work full time? Is it or?
Basically.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, until I go back to school anyway, then it'll just be weekends.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
It is good. So good that Derek decides to treat Gary to a thank you dance.
Derek's looks like he's in good spirits at the moment. He's turned the corner. Instead of running around streets, he's now got a job. He's thinking of going back to school, so it's all good stuff, so he should be right.
52-year-old surfer Ross Hipwell went looking for some big waves and hasn't been seen since.
He may have come to grief on his surfboard.
His pregnant daughter fears the worst.
I love you. I just want you to come home. I just want to hear from you and let you know that I'm okay.
And where is father of 5, Neil Marr?
Neil Marr was last seen in October 2007. He failed to make contact with his family over Christmas.
After leaving his beekeeping job, he's gone into hiding, leaving his loving daughter devastated.
Dad, please give us a call and let us know that you're all right. We love you very much.
And a family torn apart by war 7 years ago is about to be finally reunited. That is, until one of them vanishes.
I'm worried maybe she might be there with somebody bad that might rape her or do something bad, or she with some bad friends that would influence her to start going to do drugs.